sure that I'm doing it right yet, but we will find out. And hopefully you can hear me. Can the internet see me now? Yeah. All right. So I'm hoping everyone can see me. I know it's gonna just be me. I love being a little guy on YouTube, just talking to myself. I love it. I love it. So anyway, let's just get into it. I promised you that you guys could submit your questions, and I would give you panswers. I would pantser as many things as I possibly could here in the Panda Research Institute. And hopefully you'll find those answers completely satisfying. Now, a couple things I want to tell you here is that I think it's going to be a good look behind the scenes. And this doesn't have to be the only time. You can ask me other things too, especially when it comes to products or how it works or what was... or whatever may come from some of the answers that I give you. So I'm going to answer a couple things that have come up from the comments from the previous video. Feel free to throw out questions in the live chat. If I see them, I will try to answer those too as they are appropriate. I want to start out here first, though, and just kind of thank everyone for their support and their comments. And even the haters out there, love it. Love it. The haters keep me going. And also want to thank a number of you guys that have, sent me stuff or sent me info or corrected me. You know who you are. I don't want to throw out handles for everyone that's done it because I know some of you guys like having anonymity, but Scott and Michael, Michael I was just chatting with, and a bunch of other guys out there, like I said, you know who you are. I appreciate the support, the ideas, and all the stuff that you kind of send me all the time. Now, hopefully this thing is working, and hopefully we don't lose connection. I'm just kind of watching this dashboard thing, and it's kind of saying stream health is medium, so hopefully you can see me. But anyway, all right, so I pulled up my other video here with the comments, and I wanted to read some of the questions and then answer as many as I possibly could. But like I said, hit me up with anything else that you guys have too. All right. So a popular one was, what do you do for a living? And someone else said that's exactly my question. So hey, what I do for a living is I hang out with your mama. Just kidding. No one would do that. No, what I do for a living is I work in personal finance. I work with people on personal finance issues. And so I've done that for many years. Started working in financial services and then kind of ended up where I'm at. So it's fun, It's fun working with people. I get to talk. I get to do a lot of education too, like on financial matters, those types of things. So it's good. It's fun. What is my ethnic origin? Whoa, that's a good question. You know what's funny is Trevor here said, I think he's Korean. Went to a festival and alluded to it a week or so ago. So, that's kind of an interesting sleuthing there. So I'm going to answer that, and I'm also going to answer it in conjunction with another question, which is, why is your name Peter von Panda? So, because I think they kind of go hand in hand here. So the answer is, I am Korean by birth. And so that has kind of led to the panda portion of the name because it's Asian, right? So 1 + 1 = 2. But the Von part of panda is actually kind of it's not a title anymore, but in the German language, in Austria in particular, and sometimes in Germany, it was used as kind of a title of importance, and then kind of fell out of that, and now is just sometimes it's carryover. Some of the Dutch people have it like as van, and now it kind of just means of. So it generally it means Peter von Panda. Now, the reason I bring that up is because I'm actually adopted, and my parents are of German descent, and so I wanted a name that kind of harkened to some German background and some Asian background. So that's where it came from, in case you're interested. Another question is, did you attend Northwestern? I did go to Northwestern. Went there, visited it, walked through campus. It was great. No, I actually did attend it. In fact, here are my football tickets for this season, right there. And if you've watched any of the videos, you know that I wear Northwestern stuff. I live in Chicago, so I go back to campus every now and then. And cool school. Cool's maybe not the right word. Good school. Like being involved with them, even though I'm obviously don't attend there, but a bunch of my bros did, and so keep in touch with them and go back. If you're ever in the Chicago area, I encourage you to go check out Northwestern. It's a cool little campus right on the lake. The next question I have here, and feel free to hit me up with other questions because I'm going to run out soon. Boom! Because, I have like 3 followers. Ma, the meatloaf! Why do you do YouTube? Are you a narcissist? Am I a narcissist? Dude, I am way too talented, brilliant, and good looking to be a narcissist. That's just plain and simple. So no. I have no diagnosed issues with pride because I deserve all of it. So this person put a bunch of questions here. Why do I do YouTube? Why do I do YouTube? So that's kind of an interesting story. I never really intended to do it. I mean, it's kind of like a story of like when a lot of people ask entrepreneurs, like, how did you start this business? And usually a lot of the dudes just end up falling into it, and that was totally my situation with YouTube. The reality is I actually started YouTube. If you go back and look at some of the first videos, they're horrible and they're from a long time ago. And the reason was there were really 2 points at which I made YouTube videos, and then I didn't make YouTube videos for pretty much forever, and then I kind of came back to it because some of them actually started getting comments. So there were really 2 key videos that I made, and one of them was on an iPad messenger bag. So the iPad had just come out, and they were making kind of these vertical messenger bags, which you would call now, like, I think they're called vertical messenger bags, but they were kind of a new thing because of the small size iPad. Normally, laptop bags were really wide because you had these really wide 15-inch laptops, et cetera, et cetera. And so there weren't any videos on it. And, I would order these bags, try them out, and I'd be like, man, it's not what I expected, or it was, or it blew my mind. And, and sometimes the pictures aren't good, and sometimes you'd be like, oh, the leather is much more like suede-ish when you get it, and it looks more like oiled in the picture. And so I did a video on an iPad messenger bag that I really liked, and I did that because the descriptions of the pictures were really inaccurate, and I thought, hey, I want to help out people because iPads were brand new, and they were just coming out, and I know that they were kind of getting a lot of steam. And so the other one, and so that's on the one side, on the technology side, and then the other one, which you probably wouldn't be surprised about, is a watch question. So Watch Scholar, I'm leading up to this one because I see the questions here. And Freak Rituals, thanks for coming by, brother. Thanks for all the information you hook us up with, too. I gave you a shout out at the beginning, by the way. The other one was a watch video. So, as you know, I've mentioned this in my videos before that I like limited edition watches. But the nature of a limited edition watch, especially if it's like 100 pieces, even if it's 3,000 pieces, is that they're not just necessarily carried in stores. You can't go to Target and see it in the glass case, right? So what ends up happening with limited edition watches, if you're into that kind of thing, is it's really hard to find them before you want to buy them. And so one of the things that I did was very early on one of my limited edition watches, I did a video on it because people would email me about it, or people on message boards, and some of the forums and stuff, people write a whole long review. And I thought, man, I could just shoot a video, kind of give you a little bit of like a shopping experience on it, and you could decide whether you want to buy it. Because I will tell you the truth on watches is that one of the problems of not always trying it on and seeing it first, because of sometimes the rarity of some of these and how hard they can be to get, is that I do have buyer's remorse on a number of them. And just like anyone, I've turned over the collection a little bit too on some of them that I get, and I'm just not thrilled with it. A good example of that is I do have a video from years ago. It's the Breitling Super Ocean 42 millimeter diver watch, and it's in the yellow. And I will tell you what, I was smitten with the pictures. I love Breitlings. A friend of mine had a Navitimer at the time. It was just awesome. When I was reading the description, someone posted as a 42 millimeter, someone posted as a 43 millimeter. It wasn't clear if that was including like the crown protectors, and so I took a stab at it. Now that's a watch you could have gone and bought at any jewelry store, and I probably should have, but I had an opportunity to buy one at a good price, and I bought it, and I totally had buyer's remorse on it. It's a beautiful watch, but it was for my wrist and my taste, it was just a little too small. Now, today it probably would be a fine watch. I probably actually have it in my collection and wear it right now, but at the time it was just a little too small, and it wasn't something I was going to wear, and it was tying up a bunch of money, right? So that was kind of what I was trying to prevent for people, and doing taking a close look at things, really for the benefit of people who are shopping for things and really want a detailed look. Because my other problem was with videos out there is that I was watching a lot of videos on laptops and all that, and they were like 3-minute videos, and they just gave me the specs and a couple of like slow pans or like circular pans of the computer, and didn't tell me like really what did the seams look like, does the plastic flex, and so I just was looking for more detail, more consumer level detail. I don't know if you were like me, but when they used to have stores like Circuit City around and Best Buy, I would go and just walk up and down the aisle and play with things to kind of see how they were built, right? It was just kind of curiosity more than anything else. All right. So that's how it started. It really started with like a watch video. It wasn't that Breitling watch, by the way. I don't even remember what it was. But one of the great regrets I have is actually not showing a bunch of the watches that were very early on, because the other irony of it is I was really starting on watches that were hard to find, but obviously watches that are really popular get a lot of views, right? And a lot of people get a lot of value out of that. And I wasn't really reviewing all of my kind of readily available watches, and I probably should have. I missed the opportunity to review, like my Bulova Precisionist, which ended up becoming a very popular line of watches from Bulova. I never reviewed any of those, and, whatever. It is what it is. Sometimes I do go back and pull out some that are kind of older, but now that the reviews have been out for years and years, I just don't feel kind of pressure to do that sometimes. So, Watch Explorer says, what was your favorite product review? Golly, that is a hard one, man. Because I don't know like even what kind of product it is. I'll tell you what, the ones that really stun me are, I have pretty high expectations most of the time, and there are some times when you buy stuff or get stuff or whatever, and you have a pretty high expectation of it, and it still blows my mind. I'll be honest. That doesn't happen that often, but when it does, I'm giddy about it. And I'll be honest. I just reviewed the Olight Marauder. What is it? X7R or whatever, the 12,000 lumen flashlight. I will be honest, I expected good things from that flashlight, and that flashlight is wicked crazy. I have just tons of flashlights, right? I'm just sitting at my desk. I'm not even trying. Whoops, dropping stuff. I've got flashlights wherever, right? Freaks Ritual, you understand, brother, right? There's something about lights that intrigue me for whatever reason, and I like having lights. But that flashlight blew my mind, and it's sometimes hard to capture on camera a little bit, but it can be anything, I think, that not only delivers on what it's promised, but delivers, a ham sandwich on top of that. The other one that I'll tell you, and I kind of recently did a review on it, but it's a watch that I've had for a little while, is my Ulysse Nardin Marine Chronometer. That also is a watch. And actually, I would say, I was expecting a lot of things from it because it actually cost me a couple bucks. It's like, it was a little smaller, and the specs and everything were, it's a silicone band, and it's not really the style I would always go with. But dude, I just, you look at it and you kind of see the details and the craftsmanship, and they just do things so tastefully, and they use the different colors and the different platings or the materials, and it's just, the execution was just phenomenal. So, that's a watch where, again, I really wanted to like it, and I ended up loving it more than I thought. And there can be a number of different products, and I'd have to kind of scroll through some of the things that I have, but I have stuff around, even in my office here, that I really like for whatever silly reason, right? Back to the Future 2 Pepsi bottle. Here's something that's stupid that I have around is like the Benetton Bluetooth brick phone. Being a kid of the 80s, dude, this was like the brick phone, the real Motorola brick phones were kind of a sign of excess and success. And as a kid, I was like, damn, I want to be one of those guys. So it just was cool, I thought, to have one of these, and you can pair it to your phone. And you know what? I'll be honest. If you take this thing and pair it to your phone, and your phone rings, and this rings, and you answer it on here, anyone over the age of like 35 freaks out. So it's just kind of a cool thing. I did a review a long time ago on that, but still have it sitting around too. So that are some of the things that I love reviewing. So it's not just any particular line of product, but it's just things that just deliver. Freaks Ritual has 100 flashlights, dude. You know what? When the power goes out, guess where they're gonna come to, man? Right? What was that show where the power went out? It was kind of a crappy show, to be honest. All right, here's a good question. Do companies send you free junk for you to review? Don't sugarcoat it. Tell me what you think. Do they pay you, or do you just do it for the junk? How many fidget spinners are in your collection? Thousands of fidget spinners. I have zero need for a fidget spinner. I just don't know what the big fuss was about them. I guess they're cool. But the one stress thing that I do like, and I don't even have one here, are like those little squishy Nerf balls, man. I like squishing those. I like tossing it up and down. I like banging it against the wall. You know what? No one's improved on that. No one's improved on the squishy Nerf ball stress reliever. Do companies send you junk for free? Companies do reach out, and here's my little secret. The vast majority of stuff that I review on my channel, I have bought, right? And I just work out my Amazon Prime membership like it is a bud in Navy SEAL training camp or something, because I can guarantee you Amazon is losing money on my Prime membership, okay? So the beauty of the Prime is that if I see it and I like it, you just hit ship and it comes, and I don't have to worry about, let's wait till I got 5 things, right? And so I did give my UPS guy a Christmas gift this year. Funny thing is with Prime, and this is kind of going off on a whole different thing, like these contracted drivers, like these individuals, that's pretty much how I'm getting packages these days. So I'm getting to know some of these dudes that always drive up and they're like their Toyota Prius and drop off my packages. It's kind of crazy. So Amazon's obviously kind of trying to cut out the middleman on that. But by and large, most of my things I buy. And usually what I'll say at the beginning is like, hey, I just bought this, right? If the company gives me something, or if I've never been paid to do anything. I'm not saying I wouldn't. Please, someone offer to pay me to review something. But sometimes people do want to send you stuff. So 2 things usually happen at this point if someone wants to send me something. One, I'll read whatever they're looking to see if it's I'll read whatever they want to put on my channel for me to review. And I'll see if it's something I'm interested in. If it's not, I usually just delete it. I don't even respond. I mean, and that is the vast majority of these emails. I mean, the funny thing is how many times can I get hit up to review like charging blocks or cigarette lighter USB chargers and things like that? Who's going to do that? I mean, I do buy some and I will review them when they kind of blow my mind about something, but I'm not going to make it a whole channel on charging blocks, for crying out loud. And so the vast majority just get deleted. Now, some of them are pretty interesting and I do like, but I will usually say, in the video, like, hey, so they sent me this, or sometimes they don't even give it to me. They need it back. That does happen. And so what I'll say, take care, watch the glory. Love you, Scott. Talk to you later, brother. But sometimes I'll even say, it's borrowed. Now, there's a third category, which they didn't ask about, is that I will also borrow stuff from other people. Because clearly I'm not going to buy a Jeep Cherokee to review it, right? So those are like borrowed. That Hyundai Sonata was borrowed. I have borrowed watches from Watches Galore, Aaron Dunlop, Time to Go Travel, and sometimes those watch companies will kind of circulate a watch that we call it a watch tour. I don't get to keep them. It's just kind of reviewing them. You'll see that exact same watch on other guys' channels. And usually I'll say that. I don't always say it in in the video, but most of the time I'll say like, oh, it's going off to this next guy, or it came from wherever, and so there will be indications of where they came from. Hopefully that answers your question. But I have heard of other YouTubers, and I'm gonna say that they have subscribers like followers like mine times 100, right? And so it's just a different level of YouTubing where they probably get not only stuff but then paid for it. Don't have that problem at the moment, so that's cool. Let's see, man. All right, so now we're starting to get comments, and I have my queued up questions here. Let me see. EBN wrong. What do I do for work? I answered that a little earlier. I'll let you kind of scroll back and see that eventually. What do you think about Stanford being signed for $90 million plus? Oh, you're talking about Matt Stafford? Man, that's a good question, and I've been pained over it all day long. All right, so if you don't know, Matt Stafford just got a 5-year contract for, I think now, I don't know if it's announced or rumored, but it's like $135 million with something like $70 million guaranteed. Okay, it makes him the highest paid NFL player and the highest paid NFL quarterback in history. And if I'm not answering your question right, Lee Rivid, let me know. Dude, here's where I'm torn about it, man. I'm torn about it in the one way because the Lions suck. They don't have any playoff wins to show. Dude, you pay for production. You pay someone for producing. Now, on the other side, Stafford's an awesome quarterback. He's got a lot of talent, and he would have been picked up by another team. So you got to pay the market rate, even though you don't have the stats under your belt. And I'm not talking about passing stats and his quarterback or QB rating and all those things, which are pretty good. It still puts him like 5 or 6 on the list, objectively. But the reality is you need a good quarterback, and there really isn't that much talent out there. He knows the system. He knows the guys. He's an amazing talent. If he had been on other teams, I guarantee you, I won't say guarantee because there's no way to prove that. But I can tell you he's a Super Bowl quality quarterback. If Rex Grossman can go to the Super Bowl, Matt Stafford should have multiple Super Bowl rings. It's really more of fate, and Detroit going 0-16 in 08 to pick up Stafford because otherwise he would have gone to any mediocre team and brought him to the Super Bowl, no doubt, right? And so I'm torn also because he's been in the league a while. I think he's getting better. I think he was better last year than he was the year before. But he's also, not a spring chicken. He's not your rookie quarterback. He's not potentially like the Mr. Trubisky or the Mr. Biscuit in Chicago, where he could be really good, and he's only got he's just right out of college, right? And so 5 years, and I think that's fair. And particularly because we don't have a really great backup or an up-and-coming quarterback situation. Reddick looks decent, I suppose. So that's just my 2 cents. I don't want to get too much on that, but I'm torn about it. We had to pay him. I'll admit that. You had to give him the money. You had to lock him up. But golly, you'd love to have gone deep in the playoffs first, man, before you get that kind of money. All right. Yeah, fidget spinners at a pocket knives. Yeah, I saw there was some like YouTube video called like the world's most dangerous fidget spinner. It looked like razor blades on ball bearings. So crazy. What's up, Eric Ben Scoter? Hello to you too, brother. Someone asked Peace Walker 2009 favorite anime or manga. Ooh, I love mangoes. Manga. So I don't know what manga is. I've heard the term, but I don't know what that is. But I will tell you, this is not gonna. If you're a fan of anime, you're not gonna like this answer. First of all, I will tell you that the original, I would put the original Transformers in the anime category, right? Would you? Would you put the original like 1980s Transformer cartoon in the anime category? I would. But anyway, in terms of true anime, I actually don't really know that much. I have seen random anime because, especially when I was in college, a lot of my like Asian buddies loved anime, and so they would be watching TV shows and things like that. And so I've seen a variety of stuff, some good, some bad. I even remember going out and seeing a movie called Princess Mononoke, which I hated. I thought I was so disappointed with that. But there was an anime show, and I don't know what it was, but it was like them flying like space jets. It was kind of like Battlestar Galactica, and that show was kind of cool. The music was good, and there was like guys and dudes, and in it, and they had like good music numbers, and it was pretty action packed. That was pretty cool. But I'm also going to throw out here my favorite one is Voltron. I don't know if you guys watch that, but I love that show. I'm going to throw that in the anime category, and I loved that cartoon as a kid. I don't know if I think it was Netflix or Amazon rebooted the series. So they had season one, and I think maybe season two is out. I did watch season one. I guess I'm not a kid anymore, so it was good, but it wasn't like super moving and emotional anymore. And it's kind of annoying when guys are like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. Like the characters are like whiny and not kind of badass like me. Boom. What has two thumbs and is totally badass? This guy. So that's cool, and I like the sexy chicks in anime. So. Do I still like my 10-inch Lucid mattress, Tyler? Yes. Yes, I do. I have two Lucid mattresses right now. I have a 10-inch and a 12-inch, and I love them both. I love them both. 10-inch, 12-inch. Yeah, I love them both. I cannot tell the difference between sleeping. Someone else asked me that on one of the Lucid videos. Do you like one over the other? When you're on top of it and laying on it, I cannot tell the difference between the 10 and 12 inch. I think it's just kind of extra material at the bottom that doesn't really matter because you really only end up using like 4 or 5 inches depending on how much your body sinks in it. But they're awesome, man. I'll never go back to a regular mattress unless they improve it. But man, the old spring or whatever they use, a memory foam is just so much better. You just don't. No matter what position you get on your back, your side, wherever, kind of conforms to your body, so you don't get like kind of these weird cricks that you would in old mattresses. And the reason I bought that memory foam mattress is I went to a friend's house, and at his guest room, when I slept on the guest room, he had a memory foam mattress, and I was like, dude, what is this mattress? Like, if you go from a regular old school spring mattress to a memory foam, you notice it right away. Now I totally don't notice it. I will notice going to a hotel or something if I stay there, like the old school mattresses, which are fine. They're not bad. But it's just like once you go memory foam, you don't go back. Boom. 10-inch, it's perfect because I think the 10 inches are like 170, 180 bucks as opposed to the 12 inches. So 2 more inches ends up going to like 240 or 400. It kind of skews way up for those extra couple inches. I don't think you need it, but the 12-inch does fill out like the bed sheets a little better and stuff like that. How could I hate Princess Mononoke? It just wasn't very like action packed, and it was kind of preachy. I thought, it was a Ghibli, like a Maserati Ghibli. One of the best Ghibli films. Okay, I won't say it was bad. I just expect it to be like emotional and inspiring and kind of action packed, like the spaceship anime ones, but it wasn't. Spirited Away, must see. So Lee Arvid, what is Spirited Away? Hook me up with that. Thundercats? Oh, I like Thundercats. Oh! Everybody say ho! Was that orange haired dude, right? All right. Hey, Trevor wants to know, will I arm wrestle him one-on-one at the local Arby's? Downtown Arby's? Heck yeah, I will. Just beware of my leprosy. Getting any more Watch Gang packages? So, good question, Brandon. If you saw my last Watch Gang video, I said in there that I didn't think the value was there. And I ended up canceling my subscription just like a few days ago. Actually, I probably canceled like a week ago via email, and they just got back to me a few days ago and said, all right, no problem, we'll cancel it. Because you actually can't cancel it on your own. You can go in and suspend your, or like skip the next delivery, but you can't actually cancel your subscription without someone actually doing it. So you either have to call or email. You been wrong? You may have to fight me on that one, brother. You know what? I may watch Princess Mononoke again. I'm going to have to watch it on double speed because it was kind of boring. But I do like anime. I like when there's chicks in it. The whole tree in the forest coming into life was kind of crazy. Arm wrestling competition. Yeah, you don't want me to take you to the gun show, baby. Could you do a video of every watch you own? I'm genuinely interested in how many you have in your collection. Also, you have inspired me to buy a Shinola watch, so I also thank you. I probably will not do a video on every watch I own. I have done some videos of kind of like my favorite watches, my daily wearers. The problem is some of them are just not that interesting, and that you've probably seen pretty much everything in other videos. So I always kind of struggle with that. It's kind of like when like a friend or something comes over and says, "Hey, let me see your watches." I don't really show them everything because it can just be a little boring. Um, but yeah, maybe I'll do another update of like watches. I tend to rotate things through that I wear. Some stuff kind of falls by the wayside, and it's or it's in the rotation for a few months or whatever it is. So I'll do that. Da, 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 da. So, what motivated you to start YouTube? I think I addressed that. Would I rather eat chocolate flavored poop or eat poop flavored chocolate? Well, that's an easy one. I'd rather eat chocolate flavored poop, and I'll be honest. You can hold the chocolate flavoring. Poop is just so delicious. I mean, once it hits your lips, it's just so delicious. So, just to set the expectation a little bit on Spirited Away as an anime movie. All right, cool. Well, I'll check it out. Hopefully, it's better than Mononoke. So I'll have to check out Spirited Away. All right. The only anime movie to win an Oscar. Wow, I didn't even know an anime movie won an Oscar. Knife reviews. It's your fetish. All right, man. It's funny. I do like knives. Hey, I've got one here. One of the reasons is that they have said, I open a lot of boxes from Amazon. Surprise, surprise. And the knives are just super convenient for opening up the boxes quickly. And so I do like having a knife in different areas, my workbench and my desk and things like that. And so they are really, really helpful. One of the things that I haven't done is gotten like this huge, massive collection of knives, like the cutlery dude and things like that. I mean, I just don't have any need for that many. I'm not opposed to it. And I've kind of run across some really good knives like the Kube brand, which is pretty inexpensive. And man, just a great knife. So, like I said, like this one in my desk right now, which is a Tac Force. I really like these because they were $78 and they were pretty good knives. But the Kube is like $8 or $9 and just unbelievable. So, it's a great, great knife. So, yeah, I could do some more when I pick them up. Update on the Fiat. Still got it. Still driving it. It's interesting. My Fiat videos are shockingly some of the most watched videos. It's not the most watched anymore, but it's one of the most watched videos. And actually, every time I do a video on the Fiat, whatever it may be, the community out there really is kind of starved for Fiat content. So I really like my Fiat. It's a great commuter. Even if I got another car, I probably still want to keep the Fiat. I am a little torn about what to do about it long term, but it's running great. The oil change light just came on. I need to get an oil change on it. Have no issues with it. It's been a champ. I actually really wouldn't mind like the Fiat 500X. I think that's a great looking car. But like I said in my last Fiat update video, the Fiat 500e, I wish I could kind of trade straight up for it just because it'd be cool to have like an electric car and not be burning any gas and just plug it in at the end of the day. So that's kind of cool. I did answer right out of the gate what I do for a job. I work in personal finance with peeps on personal finance issues or kind of things in the financial planning and guidance space. That's probably a little overly broad, but like there's work with people on personal finance, investing strategies and things like that. So that's what I do. And then there's another question: why or why not? Well, why not is what I say. I'll do anything once, and then I'll do it again and a third time usually. So yeah, that's pretty much the upvoted ones. So I think that's about it, man. Have we gotten to the end of the questions? Anyone else have any questions before we wrap this bad boy up here? Just want to say, hey, I thank you guys for all this, for checking it out. If you guys have suggestions on things that you want to see, you can let me know. Like I said, most of the stuff that ends up going up on the channel is just stuff I need and review and buy and show it to you as I'm doing it. No real rhyme or reason. It's just stuff I need and somehow plugs into my life. So, did you guys watch the Game of Thrones season finale? Frickin' Ice Dragon, huh? You know what? You know who I'm betting sits on the Iron Throne? The Night King. That dude is gonna win. If you don't win at this point, he's kind of a moron because he's got all the cards, right? Knife reviews. Okay, that seems like a popular one. I'll have to pick up a few more knives. Go shopping around. So if you have any knife brands that you like that aren't going to break the Panda Bank, shoot them off to me. I'll check them out. All right, guys. Don't want to belabor it anymore. Stay tuned. Lots of cool stuff coming up. I was sitting here at my desk working on getting some videos up even tonight still. So pretty excited about what's coming down the pike. Go Cats. Peter von Panda. Out. Oh, maybe not out. Sean just says, where do you think your channel is heading? And We Knife and Kaiser. Haven't seen that show yet. The Game of Thrones show? You haven't seen? Freaks? Where do I think my channel is heading? That's a really, really good question. Because I'm kind of here half on accident, that's kind of a consideration. And obviously I work a full-time job. This isn't, something I do. Something I do is for fun. But I will tell you this. I do take it more seriously, man. I mean, I do try to dedicate time to it and kind of commit to doing stuff on it. So I won't, it's not something I want to abandon because, I feel like it's fun sharing stuff and interacting with people. Where's my channel heading? I'll be really honest, Sean. I don't think it's really heading anywhere particularly impressive. If all the metrics on the channel, on the analytics, things are moving up and to the right. And so that's good in general, but they're not moving super fast. Okay, so this is kind of a slow, organic growth type of thing. This is not SS Sniper Wolf or Casey Neistat or any of that stuff. There are just some people who are crushing it. And I even talked about some of the other channels that I thought were great that are unloved. That was a whole video. And so, what's funny is I checked out some of those, and some of those channels have grown a ton lately. So, which just kind of blows my mind. So I love the fact that we grow and we're getting more people and we're engaging, and like dudes like you and me, we're having a chance to engage. But this isn't going to be a big channel ever. Not that I don't want it to be, or not that I want it to be small forever either, but it's just not that kind of thing. If I were slimmer, younger, and more female with amazing hoots or something, I think we'd probably have more viewers, but that ain't gonna happen without some serious surgery and dieting. But but that's okay. I like it. I kind of like it being maybe a little more, I don't know, anonymous. I do kind of think it's pretty cool how people are able to make a full-time gig out of it. Can I say this? Can I throw out my opinion here? And this may be a little, I don't know, it's not controversial, and I'm not trying to judge people, but the term YouTuber, it kind of brings that up, is that, when people say they're a YouTuber, it's like, some people say it like, they've got a video on YouTube. I mean, who cares? I kind of feel like the term YouTuber means, you're kind of making a career out of it. You're making a financial case and a business case out of doing it. And so, it's like, do I ever think like, will this channel get to the place where I'm considered a YouTuber in that regard? I don't think so, man. I think we're gonna be casual buddies like this, having a conversation over Oreos and Thin Mints. So, but that's cool. Like I said, I like it, and if it kind of stays at this level, I'm good with that. I think it still gives us an opportunity to do things. I've even mentioned it, that there's a little tiny bit of revenue that comes in from AdSense on this channel, which is cool, which is awesome. I'll be honest, I never thought that it would ever happen. I mean, I never started thinking about that, but there's a little bit, and so that clearly gets reinvested in the channel and then some. But it's kind of cool that at least the channel kind of self-sustains itself in some small part, right? But obviously, like the big ticket items, I have to kind of dig deep on my own and for. So anyway, hopefully that answers your question. I don't know. I don't know else where it'll go other than that. But if you've got any ideas or tips, I'd certainly love to take them. But all right. That being said, I'm going to let you guys get back to your evening. Appreciate you spending some time with me. And One last comment on the Game of Thrones finale. I was kind of saying that. First of all, the clearly the path of Game of Thrones, when they ran out of the R.R. Martin books, Northwestern graduate, by the way. We're not buddies, by the way. And HBO had to kind of start writing their own content. That was clearly a huge divergence from kind of the pace, the theme. I thought the nudity of the R.R. Martin books, and I like it. I mean, it's really entertaining. Although I feel like there are a lot of typical Hollywood tropes that are kind of sneaking into the show now. You know, the oh, everything's bleak, and then all of a sudden, the dragons arrive, or oh, everything's bleak, and oh, thank you, Uncle Benjamin. You know, it's starting to get a little like corny. But I'll tell you what, I do find that stuff satisfying. I like it when you take it to the bad guys. But I think, to be honest, I'd be really disappointed if like a good guy wins at the end, because this is just not the show I think where good guys win. So if it's like Daenerys and Jon Snow in love, sharing the Iron Throne together, I'd be like, what, dude? No. Like at this point, Cersei should win. I mean, nice guys finish last. Have you ever heard that term? They do. So Cersei should kill Jaime. The White Walkers and Daenerys' armies will probably decimate each other, and she just wins by default. That would be the right thing to do. But I do subscribe right now to the idea that there was peace between the White Walkers and the humans, and that the Wall was the kind of the DMZ, and the humans are the ones that have totally violated that pact, and the White Walkers are coming to purge. And I think they are well within their right, because the humans with incursions in the north, and cutting off their supply of human babies and all these things that were probably agreed upon. And so I think right now the White Walkers are well within the right to march south of the Wall, wipe people out, bring peace, and sit on the Iron Throne. And I think the Night King should do that, and that would be the ultimate final end to the show. In my case, to see him taking the throne, I think that's totally fair. Favorite hobby, dude? I don't know, man. Superior number one. I have tons of things that I like doing and just don't have the time or the money in a lot of cases to do. I used to work on cars a lot. I love doing that, but that's a super expensive hobby. I do like to golf a couple times a year. I showed you some golf stuff before. I like to go shooting. I love to go to the range with some of my boys or some friends. Sometimes I just do it on my own in the afternoon. That's fun. I like that because you can just go do it for an hour and leave, right? I mean, it's kind of hard to find hobbies where you can just do it at your leisure. So those are some of the things. I do love the outdoors. Obviously, I review a ton of camping gear, but you never see me camping because I almost never do it. I never have a chance to do it, which is disappointing. But I'm trying to think what else. I like going to sports games, seeing sports events. So cool, brothers. All right. Hey, stay salty, my friends, and come back another time. Feel free to comment with other questions, and maybe if there's something else comes up, I'd love to jump online and answer those too. Peace out. Peter von Panda. Out!